Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for joining me, and everyone, if you're watching this, don't forget to hit subscribe. So today's video is going to be all about fungal acne. This is something that I have suffered from, so I will be speaking greatly in great detail about my experience with it and what I used to treat it, how I was diagnosed, and everything that you could have been wondering about fungal acne. We're gonna cover that today, so keep watching. All right, guys. So I have spoken about my fungal acne journey on basically any platform that you can find me on. I've spoken about it on my Instagram and on my blog, and I will link those below for you guys to look at. So I figured now that I'm on YouTube, this is also a great place to share this information. And mostly because I'm not sure what's happening, but there seems to be this big trend suddenly with fungal acne, and a lot of questions have been coming in. And I wanted to speak firsthand because I have had fungal acne. Once again, I am not an expert, but I am speaking from experience, and I did have expert help with treating it. So first we need to go over exactly what fungal acne is. First up is the common misconception that fungal acne is acne, but it actually is not. Fungal acne is a type of folliculitis. It is not acne. Acne is caused by bacteria, and fungal acne, although that is its nickname, is caused by a yeast overgrowth on your skin. There is Malassezia folliculitis, Pityrosporum folliculitis. Pityrosporum. So this yeast overgrowth, we have bacteria, we have yeast on our skin that is there, and issues usually come when things overproduce. Too much of anything is not a good thing, and that also goes for your skin. So when that yeast that is on your skin is overproducing, then it gets into the hair follicles, and that's how you end up with this particular type of folliculitis that we have dubbed fungal acne. And the reason why is because it actually does present itself as acne. It looks like acne, so a lot of people don't realize that it isn't acne, and that is what makes this particular skin issue so frustrating, is because most of the time we aren't treating it correctly. And the longer that you have something like this, the longer that you allow something like a fungal infection or a yeast infection to grow, the harder it becomes to get rid of, because those suckers are just thriving. So that will segue us into the next thing, which is like, what does it look like and where will you usually find it? So it usually looks like little pimples, little whiteheads. Sometimes there aren't even whiteheads, but little raised bumps, and it presents itself on the forehead. It can be on the cheeks and the neck. It's also most common on the chest and the back. And things that could cause the yeast to overproduce, things like the humidity, the weather being excessively hot, humid climates. Another thing is sweating a lot and not practicing proper hygiene. I've spoken about treating acne. I will link that video also. The other aspect is medications. If you are taking things like antibiotics or steroids, those have been known to cause imbalances in the skin, and that can also trigger an overgrowth of the yeast on your skin. All right, so story time now. My experience with fungal acne was a doozy. Oh my gosh. So I was working, if you guys don't know, I'm a professional makeup artist. I work in film and television. I was working on a project in the summer. It was the height of summer, and we were working on a set that made a new parking lot. So it was like a tar parking lot. It was dry and everything, but it was brand new. So we were working outside. It was probably 110 degrees. On top of that, fresh new tar, right? The heat was unreal. I was applying my sunscreen, I was reapplying it, I was using a chemical sunscreen at the time. I just overheated. I didn't really know what was happening. And then about 3 days into that particular location, I noticed that I had a couple bumps on my chin, but I didn't think anything of it because I've mentioned, acne prone. So I just thought, okay, I'm breaking out. I'm sweating, I'm putting on a lot of sunscreen. Then, I got up and my face was just a mess. It was a mess. I had tiny bumps covering like from where my hands are, like right here, all the way down to my neck. And I remember texting my esthetician. I was like, okay, I'm not sure what's happening, but my skin is really bad right now. Can I come in and see you? Can we figure out what's going on? We went in and she said it looks like some sort of allergy. It wasn't very itchy. And we were thinking maybe it was something in my diet. So I started to keep a food journal to try and find out what was triggering it. Now, the weird thing that I experienced is some days I would wake up and it's gone. If I go out to work, it's gone. And then throughout the day, like a few will pop up. And by the time I get home, I'm covered again. And then so it was doing this weird thing. And that is sort of what made us think that it was an allergy for so long. I'm saying this like it's days, but it was going over the space of weeks because I was working, so I was trying to fit in where I could figure out what was happening with my work schedule. So then it just got to be too much. We were about 2 or 3 months into trying to figure out what on earth was going on. So we weren't seeing any results with switching up skincare or anything like that. So my next step was to go and see a dermatologist. So I had made my appointment for the dermatologist, got in, and I had them look at me. The way I am as a person, I let people do their job. As a makeup artist, that is what I also love when people do. So I don't go in saying, hey, it's this and this and this and this. I just go in, I'm like, please look at my skin, help. So of course, the day of my appointment with my dermatologist, it goes away, right? It's gone down significantly. So I go in and I'm sitting there and I'm trying to tell them about this traumatic thing that's been happening for the past month. And they're just like, because you can't really see it. And they keep looking at my back and looking at my chest because I think that they suspected what I'm saying sounds like fungal acne. But in textbook form, it is mostly recorded being on the chest and the back. My issue was on the face. It was not on my body at all. So they say that they're going to test me to see if it is a fungal infection. And I said, okay, great, that sounds wonderful. So they take a swab and they take it from my back. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, can we take something from here? Like, even if you just take a piece of skin, like, I'm okay with that. Because remember, right? Acne prone. So I have breakouts. I have back knee. And I probably do have like some folliculitis going on in the back. But this specific fungal situation was on my face. And again, this is what we, especially as Black women, what we speak of, we're not heard when we are in medical environments. Long story short, so they take the swab from the back. They come back and they say, well, we didn't find any fungal anything, so here's a benzoyl peroxide face wash. Use that and then use the steroid cream. Okay, I'm not an expert. I don't know. I'm trusting in you, so that's what we do. We're doing benzoyl peroxide body wash and we're doing steroid cream. I mean, and I also won't get into the fact that I wasn't given proper directions on how to use that steroid cream. And it actually is not supposed to be used on the face, but that's where I was having my issues. So of course the next day when I woke up and it was on my face, I was using it on my face. Anyway, this guys, this is gonna be an emotional roller coaster, so just bear with me on this journey, okay? Just stick with me, grab a snack, and let's continue with it. All right, so we're a month into using this benzoyl peroxide wash and this steroid cream, which is totally being abused. So I call in to make another appointment. Hey, this rash thing is still happening. Can I come back in so that we can assess the situation? So I go back in. Of course, it's there, but it's mild. It's not as bad. And I'm putting these pictures up so that you guys can see that we know that I'm dramatic, but I'm not being dramatic. Like you can see, right? So I had pictures this time and I showed them the pictures like, so this is what it looks like every time I get to come and see you guys. Okay, because you know also with a derm, it's never like, hey, can I come in? Sure, come in tomorrow. It's like weeks. So it's been weeks. So I show the picture, hey, this is what's happening. What can we do? Because the benzoyl peroxide isn't doing anything. I was recommended a different wash. Okay, we're gonna have you try a different wash and a different cream and use that and let's see what happens. All right, cool, bet. I go to the desk, I get the prescription, and I realize it's not even a prescription. It's an over-the-counter benzoyl peroxide wash. Another one. So I'm done. I go back to my esthetician, who I trust with my entire life. So my esthetician recommended that I see a particular allergist to just be tested to see what's going on. So then I get the appointment for the allergist. I go in, everything comes blurting out because we are maybe 6 months into dealing with this constant flare up. Each flare, it gets worse and worse and it takes longer to subside. So I am near tears when I'm speaking with him and he's looking at me and then he looks like down at my chest, he looks at my back, and I promise you I almost fell out because I was like, oh, this is deja vu. Don't look down my chest and my back. It's not on my chest or my back. We're speaking about my face and my neck here. Please just hear me. He's like, okay, I don't think this has anything to do with food or allergies. I can test you, but what's going to happen is you're going to be paying me $1,500 to do these testings, and sure, you might maybe find some sensitivities to something, but I don't think that it has anything to do with what's happening to you. He referred me to a different dermatologist and my face was just like, and he was like, no, hold on. Because I was like, if for more benzoyl peroxide, right? So he's like, no, hold on. This particular person, their specialty is weird rash things. So I said, all right. And you guys, working in film, anyone can testify, it is difficult to look after yourself in terms of appointments. We are working Monday to Friday, 22 hours a day, and these offices aren't open on weekends, right? So it was a lot to get these appointments in and to get the time to go and be given benzoyl peroxide and get back to work. It was a lot. All right, so I go in for this appointment with this strange rash special dermatologist, and I've got a bag of all the benzoyl peroxide washes and steroid creams that I've been given, and all of my pictures printed out huge so that it's like, all right, y'all are gonna hear me and this is gonna be sorted out today. So I get in and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going on. Like, the mask, helping me. Done. And then she's like, okay, this sounds like fungal acne. Okay. I'm showing her what I have and she's like, yeah, that's not gonna do anything. That, if anything, it'll make it worse. She started to write some, I believe they were oral, antifungal prescriptions for me. And then she looks over and "You're not pregnant, are you?" And guess what? This shit had taken so long that by the end of it, I was, in fact, pregnant, as I had discovered 2 days before. So because I was pregnant, so she canceled the medication. So this is what you're gonna use. You're gonna get some Lotrimin. I was like, Lotrimin? She's like, Lotrimin. You're gonna get some Lotrimin. You're gonna get anti-dandruff shampoo called Nizoral. And that is gonna be your face wash. That is gonna be your moisturizer. And that is all you use, nothing else. So I got the shampoo, I got the Lotrimin, and that's what I was using. And guess what? It took another, I will say, 3 to 4 months. Guys, this entire process took a year to figure out what was happening, to be heard, and then to be correctly diagnosed and treated. And then because it was there for so long, I was just walking yeast. I was just walking face yeast. I wasn't even SAJ anymore. I was just like, hey, my name's Yeast. Nice to meet you. Now, I don't know how long you guys want to sit here with me, because the last flare up, which was in January before pandemic, this one was really bad, and it was triggered by a new cleanser that I tried. I threw that shit out so fast. That joint was out in my earnest to get rid of it. I picked up some different things with ingredients that I know worked, and they were a little bit too strong for my skin. Like, I felt like my skin was drying out like really badly, and I said, you know what, I don't think I'm going to be able to continue using these, because I know that it's a process, and I didn't think that I would be able to continue because I felt like I would be just really wrecking my skin in the process. So I got the bright idea after a shift. I finished early, so I was like, let me go to Target and grab that shampoo and the Lotrimin. I get home that night and I put the shampoo on. Then I notice it's tingling, and I'm thinking, I don't remember the shampoo tingling when I've used it before. I don't remember that it does that. Anyway, to wash my face off, and it felt, I was like, this doesn't feel right. But I don't think anything of it. I think, like, oh, it's working. And I look and I've got this red mask. And I'm like, what just happened? What did I just do? I grabbed my oh shit kit. I will link my skin barrier / oh shit kit video for you guys. So I grabbed that and I start putting all of my healing stuff on, and I go to sleep dreading to wake up because I recognize the feeling, and I'm like, this is really bad. I gave myself a chemical burn. I now know that the shampoo had in salicylic acid, which is an ingredient that I have been avoiding for the longest while because pregnant and breastfeeding is just my jam. When that combined with what was on my face that I put on when I went to work, because remember I'm using this to wash it off, which was sulfur, I melted my face off. There was darkness. It was terrible. I was peeling. I was peeling more than I peel when I have an actual chemical peel. But as you can see, I am okay. And that is because my oh shit kit is bomb. So you guys watch that video. And that is the part 2 story on my fungal acne journey and how I gave myself a chemical burn. The exact products that I've used and ingredients that can help, please check out my blog post, because that has an entire breakdown and shoppable links where you can purchase what I have used. I keep those on hand at all times so that I can handle the situation. And again, Don't make the mistake that I did. You will need to use either or of the treatments. You're either using the anti-dandruff situation or you're using the sulfur situation. Don't combine the two or you're going to burn your face off. All right, so I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that you stuck with me throughout this really lengthy, emotional chat. Once again, don't forget to hit subscribe. I promise my other videos are a little bit more concise, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.